Okay, so we want to find the area under this curve that we have a picture of. And it says the graph of f is given. Estimate the integral from 0 to 8 f of x dx. We're going to use 4 subintervals and write endpoints. Show all work. So what we want to do is we want to do the sum as I goes from 1 to 4, and we're going to go f of x sub I delta x. Now, that delta x is going to be b minus a over n. So we know b is 8, we know a is 0, and n is 4. So our delta x is going to be 2. All right, you can take that delta x out front if you want, and then we're summing up from 1 to 4 f of x sub I. Now, what I want you to realize is where those are. So you're going to have one, let's see if I can do it in orange. You're going to have one here because you're dividing it into 4 pieces. You're going to have one here, and one here. So this is going to be x sub 1, x sub 2, x sub 3, and x sub 4. All right. Now, when you're showing the work on your exam, you should show this work. All right. So what we're saying then is that x sub 1, right there, is our approximation, and we get this rectangle right here. This is what we're trying to find the area of right here. Okay. Now, this is going to equal, our delta x is 2. We figured that out. And then we're going to be adding up f of x sub 1, because we're doing right endpoints, plus f of x sub 2, plus f of x sub 3, plus f of x sub 4. And so what we have to do is we have to find those values then. So 2 times, I'm going to say this point right here, that's about 8.8, okay? So it looks like, x sub 1, comma, 8.8, I'm going to say. And then I have to do x sub 2, so I need to know, maybe I'll use a different color. I don't know if this will show. But this point right there, which looks like it's a little bit above 8, I'm going to say it's 8.1. Okay, and by the way, this is in brackets here. Okay. Plus, let's see if I have any more colors here. Plus, now f of x sub 3 is going to be right here. And that looks like it's just above the 7. I'm going to say it's 7.2. Okay, for x sub 3. So now if I wanted to draw these rectangles, which I would want you to do that, just do your best. That would be the rectangle there. And then the gray one, that would be this rectangle right here. Okay, then we have one more rectangle. Let's do it in black. Plus, now what is f of x sub 4? Well, it's right here, and it looks like that's a 6. So you're talking this rectangle right here. And remember, we're getting an approximation here. So you pull out a calculator, and you add these up, and you multiply by 2, and you're going to get, in this case, our approximation is going to be 60.2. Okay? So that's what I got. Now, if you had read those off the graph a little bit differently, like you read it as 8.9 or 8.7, no big deal. We're just approximating it, right? But what I want to see is the graph. I want to see the rectangles, and I want to see this part so I'll know what approximations you're using and how you're adding those up. So it's always best to show all your work. There you go.